Welcome to a spine-chilling journey into the darkest corner of the comic book universe. Prepare yourself for a descent into madness as we dive into the twisted minds of some of the most sinister characters to ever grace the pages of comics. These villains are embodiments of terror ready to haunt your nightmares, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because you won't want to miss a moment of this hair-raising journey. Have you heard of the Scarecrow? Well, odds are if you know who Batman is, you've probably heard the name once or twice. He's creepy by design, like he's trying to out-creep the creepy competition. You see, Jonathan Crane isn't just some run-of-the-mill villain, he's practically got a PhD in messing with people's minds, specifically the fear and phobia department, and he's a guy who's not content with just scaring you a little bit. No, he wants to turn your worst nightmares into reality. And he's got a secret weapon, a toxin that makes you see things you'd wish you'd never see. It's like he's saying, you know what would make this even more terrifying? A burlap sack for a head and a toxin that turns your brain into a haunted house. I mean, seriously, who does that? Normal bad guys rob banks or run around in fancy costumes, but not our dear Scarecrow. He's here to take your worst fears and make them dance in front of you like a twisted circus while you're tripping on his fear juice. Oof. Now, let's talk about the Demogoblin, because he's like the black sheep of the Goblin family. You know we had the Green Goblin and the Hobgoblin. Well, the Demogoblin is like their goth cousin who's into some seriously dark stuff. Unlike his goblin cousins who dabble in chemicals and high-tech gadgets, this guy took a one-way trip from the depths of hell and came back with a whole new look. This demonic face, razor-sharp teeth, and a flicking tongue that's probably great for Halloween parties. But despite looking like an audition for a role of Satan's sidekick, the Demogoblin wasn't exactly evil. In fact, he had this weird habit of going after blasphemers and evildoers like some sort of supernatural vigilante. He even went the extra mile and sacrificed himself to save an innocent kid. So, maybe he's not all that bad, he's just misunderstood in a really, really dark way. Now let's talk about Death. In the Marvel Universe, Death is a woman of few words, and even fewer mercies. She's like the enigmatic figure at the masquerade ball, alluring and eerie at the same time. Death's influence is so potent that even the mighty mad titan Thanos pulled off the infamous finger snap, you know, the one that wiped out half the universe's population, all in an attempt to impress her. I mean, talk about going to extremes for a date night, right? Death is like the unpredictable friend who always keeps you on your toes. Sometimes she's doing acts of goodness, and other times she's plunging the universe into chaos. It's like trying to guess the weather in the Bermuda Triangle. Whether Death takes on a skeletal form or rocks that eerie shrouded woman look, one thing's for sure, she's one of the creepiest characters in the Marvel Universe. She's the type of entity that makes you question the universe's moral compass, and if you ask me, that's pretty darn creepy. Okay, now let's talk about the Joker, because he's not your typical clown. Sure, the whole clown thing works wonders in terms of unsettling his enemies, but trust me, that's just the tip of the creepy iceberg. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. He's Gotham's very own serial killer extraordinaire, pulling off one dastardly deed after another like it's just another day at the office. For a guy who laughs so much, he's got a sinister way of spreading misery instead of joy. And then there's his appearance. It's like someone mashed up a clown with a nightmare. The makeup, the grin, those maniacal eyes, it's like the stuff of pure horror. He's the kind of guy who'd make even the most evil supervillains feel uncomfortable in his presence. I mean, who'd want to hang out with a dude who's untrustworthy, impulsive, violent, and just plain off his rocker? But that's what makes him one of the most iconic and spine-chilling villains in the world of comics. You know, for the longest time Batman was the poster child for being all dark and brooding, while the Joker was the life of the twisted party. It was like a comic book hero-villain roles had gone a complete flip-flop. But then, Someone had the genius idea to smash them together into an unholy union, and thus, the Batman Who Laughs was born. Hailing from Earth 22, the Batman Who Laughs is the embodiment of every fan's fear rolled into one. The Batman who's embraced the insanity of the Joker. Terrifying, right? But it doesn't end there. This dark and twisted Batman had his own posse of creepy sidekicks known as the Rabid Robins. They're like a nightmare version of the Boy Wonder, and they're his merry band. Together, they're a force to be reckoned with, and trust me, you do not want to run into them in a dark alley. The Batman Who Laughs isn't just your run-of-the-mill villain. He's a mind-bending amalgamation of darkness and chaos that both fascinates and frightens comic book fans everywhere. In this universe, he's no joke, and Gotham City has never been the same since he came into existence. Dr. Death. One of the creepiest characters to ever grace the pages of a comic book. Seriously folks, it's hard to conjure up a character more chilling than this guy, even if the origin story was somewhat innocent. Picture this, a scientist working for Wayne Enterprises, gets fed up with the daily grind and decides to play mad scientist on himself. So what does he do? Well, he decides to inject himself with a serum designed to promote massive bone growth. Sounds pretty bizarre, right? But wait, there's more. Originally, that serum was intended to be a miracle cure, but Dr. Death, as he came to be known, had other plans. This guy transformed himself into a walking nightmare, and his main hobby? Well, that was trying to end Batman's life. If you encountered him in a dark alley, you'd be in for a heart-pounding, jaw-dropping horror movie kind of experience. I mean, his looks alone could send you running for the hills. And throughout the years, there have been several versions of this character, but the New 52 incarnation takes the cake as one of the most spine-chilling comic book characters in existence. So, from the bone-chilling Dr. Death to the unholy fusion of Batman and the Joker, we've explored the stuff that nightmares are made of. If you found yourself at the edge of your seat, or had a laugh or two along the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because comics are greater with true power.